name is Selena Janae and welcome back to my channel. We'll jump right into it. Today we're going to be creating two classic but not classic old fashions. The old fashioned is probably one of the most recognizable traditional cocktails. Traditionally it's made with a sugar cube, 2 parts of whiskey, depending on what you like. You can use rye or bourbon. I always use bourbon for my old fashions, it's just a preference, and 3 dashes of bitters. I don't like to use sugar cubes. I prefer making my own simple syrup. I just think it blends better than actually muddling a sugar cube. The way we'll elevate this today is we'll just take our low ball and we're going to rinse our glass out with 1/4 of an ounce, or maybe like a little bit less. So rinsing your glass is just when you're kind of swishing a little bit of alcohol around so the whole glass can embody the flavor. I'm going to toss out the rest of that wash. And then I already filled this up with a little bit of cherry wood. Some smokers come with their own wood. I buy mine from North 40 or something. And I'll turn it on. You just want to get a nice thick smoke. I don't want you to be able to see through it. There you go. And then we'll top that. You have your little house. And then we'll keep that on the side and we'll use it later. Let's build our cocktail. And we're going to just go in with 2 ounces of this Knob Creek bourbon. It's not the most expensive bourbon, I know, but it is nice, affordable, and easy to keep in the house. And more importantly, anyone can get it anywhere. Get all of that out. And then I just have a 1/2 ounce of simple here. It's a 1-to-1 ratio simple, so like 1 cup sugar, 1 cup water, boil it, and then batch it all up. And then I'm going to use orange bitters. Traditionally, you would just use Angostura. I do like to use an orange peel in my garnish for later, and I just think this adds a little bit more flavor. So I'm going to do 2 dashes instead of 3 because I don't think it's that necessary to be that bitter. And then for my ice, I am going to use some bigger ice cubes. What you really want for an old fashioned is to get it cold, but not to dilute completely. You just want to get it cold enough so you can enjoy all the ingredients that are already settled in. Okay, and then you're going to just grab a stir, and I'm just going to kind of swivel around. I don't want to like over stir it, and you don't want to use too much ice. You don't want to oxidize the whiskey too much. Just touch the glass, make sure it's cold enough. I think the longer you do this, the better you become at noticing what's perfect for it. On top of which, this was the first cocktail I learned how to make, and definitely the first cocktail I learned how to balance. Let's taste. That tastes pretty damn good to me. And then we're going to grab our strainer. If she wants to go in, perfect. Watch the smoke release. Add your rock before you pour. And then just nicely pour her in there. Okay, and for garnish, just going to do an orange peel. As you see, I've already used this one, and I'd rather use most of it before it's gone. And we never just place. I want to like vertically squeeze over just to release all the oils, adds an aromatic feel to it. And then just kind of pinch around and run it around the rim. Then I'm going to squeeze completely to release all of those oils. Just kind of place her in my hand. Normally I'd place her on the side, that's why I hesitated. But I am going to add 1 more garnish. I do have some cocktail cherries here. We never use maraschinos. No one likes maraschinos, they're lying. And then I'll just place her in. Just give somebody a reason to stir while they're drinking. When someone asks me what's my favorite type of cocktail, what's my go-to to drink, it's almost always an old fashioned. If I'm going somewhere and I'm planning on having a cocktail, I'm probably going to order their old fashioned, because if you can actually balance one, I know it seems simple, but it's not always done properly, but if you can actually balance an old fashioned, then I know that you at least have that and I can always enjoy one. So cheers to this. Let's do 1 more though. Okay, we're back with a slightly different setup. I have a different syrup here, a different whiskey and different bitters and stuff like that. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to do roughly the same thing. So we're going to just take 1/4 of an ounce, and I'm using Suntory whiskey. It's obviously been used a little bit. I keep it in my house just because it's an easy whiskey to like experiment with, and it's another one that you can find basically anyway. So just a little bit of whiskey, and we'll run the glass and toss. And then I did switch out the cherry wood chips for apple wood. I am going to use a homemade sage syrup, so I thought that would just work a little better. Let's light her up. Let the smoke fall and cover. I tend to do that sometimes. Okay, and then we are going to go and make our cocktail. So same measurements. I'm going to do 2 ounces of Suntory. Look how much lighter it is. It's definitely lighter in body as well. Don't watch my clumsiness. And then I have another 1/2 ounce of homemade sage syrup I made. Again, if you ever want to know anything, just let me know and I will create a video for it. And then I'm just going to go in with some standard Angostura bitters just to add a little bit more of a potent flavor. So I'm going to do 2 dashes of that. And then again with some big ice cubes to stir her up. Okay. Remember, we want to stir just around the edges, and if you're using smaller pieces of ice, you still want to make sure that your stir is still just touching the glass the entire time while you're rotating it. You don't want to oxidize your whiskey too much, no matter what kind of whiskey it is. Okay, and then we're just going to grab our strainer. You can already see how much more light-bodied it'll be. And once again, we've released the smoke. I do love a smoked old-fashioned overall. If you're not a huge fan of smoke, then, I mean, you don't need to use one. I just think it's a fun way to really spark up the drink some. I am going to garnish with some fresh sage. Sorry, I took that take a few times, and fresh sage is a tongue twister that I want anyone to say 5 times fast before they come at me. And to release the oils for any herb, you just smack it up on the wrist, or you can do a quick. And that should be enough. And she's cute. She's very pretty. I like to serve this one neat just because I like to taste the syrup that I put so much work into making. I love an old-fashioned just because it's so versatile, and using different ingredients or creating different ingredients, whether that be syrups or bitters or whiskey, or you can completely go off-brand and do like a tequila old-fashioned, or it's just very versatile. It's one of the easiest drinks to have, and it's one of my favorites to continue to drink. I hope you like it if you're making it, and if not, I'll let you know how it is. The applewood really just adds a different type of smoke, a different type of thickness, and it completely hits your tongue before your tongue hits the drink. It's a nice sipper to have, but it's one that you don't want to just sip. I hope you liked today's drinks, and yeah, I'll see you next time.